welcome to CS262 Data Communication Lab. In this lab we are going to study about the wireless LAN protocol CSMA-CA. The purpose of performing this experiment is to introduce you the concepts of virtual channel sensing using request to send and clear to send, a physical medium reservation, and RTS-CTS data acknowledgement cycle. In this lab, you will be able to implement the CSMA-CA protocol for packet communication between a number of nodes connected to a common bus. The hardware requirement for this experiment is two PCs with NIU card. This is the first PC. This is the second PC. The other is the second PC, and a network emulation unit. This is the network emulation unit, and jumper cables. These were the jumper cables. Okay, what is CSMA-CA protocol? It is also termed as carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance. It is a computer networking protocol in which multiple access method is used. It is a carrier sensing scheme. In this, a carrier sensing scheme is used. A node wishing to transmit data has to first listen to the channel for a predetermined amount of time to determine whether or not another node is transmitting on the channel within the wireless range. If the channel is sensed ideal, then the node is permitted to begin the transmission process. If the channel is sensed busy, the node defers its transmission for a random period of time. Once the transmission process begins, it is still possible for the actual transmission of application data to not occur. CSMA-CA is a modification of pure CSMA, carrier sense multiple access. Collision avoidance is used to improve CSMA performance by not allowing wireless transmission of a node if another node is transmitting, thus reducing the probability of collision occurring due to the use of random time. Optionally, but almost always implemented as IEEE 802.11, RTS-CTS exchange can be required to better handle situations such as hidden node problem in the wireless networking. CSMA-CA is a layer 2 access method, not a protocol of OSI model. A node wishing to send data initiates the process by sending request to send frame RTS. The destination node replies with a clear to send CTS frame. Any other node receiving the RTS or CTS frame should refrain from sending data for a given time. This solves the hidden node problem. The amount of time the node should wait before trying to get access to the medium is included in both the RTS and CTS frame. The protocol was designed under the assumption that all nodes have the same transmission range. In this lab, we are going to design a network with two senders and one receiver and show how collision is reduced when two users try to access the channel to send data to the same receiver. Now first we have to configure the receiver. The first step is on the receiver end. This we are assuming as the receiver. Click on the CSMA-CA icon from the desktop on the PC. CSMA-CA icon is clicked. Next, click the configuration button. Click the configuration button. The node ID is set as 0. The protocol is Aloha. The duration of the experiment is 100 seconds. Packet length is 100 bytes. Interpacket delay is 1000 milliseconds. And the address of the sender is, receiver is, it's 1. This is the receiver as it is the server, and the direction is receiver here. Click OK. And now boot after booting is completed. Next, we have to configure the sender. Now the steps followed to configure the client nodes are: click the CSMA-CA icon from the desktop on the second PC. Do it 2 times. Now we are setting the configuration menu for the client nodes. 0 on configuration menu 1 and 1 on configuration menu 2. The protocol is Aloha and the baud rate is 8 kbps. Duration is 100 seconds. The bit delay is 0 and the direction is sender in both the PCs, and the address is 2 in configuration menu 1 and 3 in configuration menu 2. The interpacket delay is 1000 milliseconds. Click on the OK button and download the driver to the NIU using the boot button command. Run the experiment. So a pop-up window occurs. Here you have to set the back off time. Now a pop-up window enters. Here we have to set the back off time. The back off time is 40 milliseconds. We are assuming that back off time is 40 milliseconds on both the clients. Next, again a pop-up window appears. Here we have to set the carrier back off time. It is also 40 milliseconds on both the windows. Now we have to set the control signal handshake, that is equal to packet length. In our case, as packet length is 100 bytes, we are setting it as 100 in both the windows. Next we have to set the data signal handshake. It is equal to twice the packet length. In our case, as packet length is 100 bytes, so the data signal handshake duration is 200. Now we can see that the simulation is going on. You can see the sender statistics here, and simultaneously you have to start the receiver.
हो गया लगभग।
After the time duration of 100 seconds, both the nodes will stop transmitting and the following screen appears. You can see the screen here. Both the senders are being stopped and the following statistics we can see. Once the sender stops, press the OK button in the receiver node. And in the receiver node, press the stop button. Okay, and this is the stop button. So we can see the statistics here. Now you need to note down the statistics. The first statistic is G count 1, and the second statistics is G count 2, and the another statistics you need to note down is acknowledgement 1 and acknowledgement 2. These four values are used for are filled in the table and are used for further calculations of practical load and practical throughput. You have to repeat the same steps for different values of TA. We will do it for 2000, 1000, 800, 400, 100, 80, 60 and 10. Okay, I will give it in the Word file. You can check it from there for which IPD values we are getting the results. So these were the results for IPD equal to 1000. Similarly, we will perform for different IPD values and we will include the results in the table. So this is the table for the value of IPD 1000. What were the G count 1 and G count 2 values? (101) and 102 are the G count 1 and G count 2 values. And what were the acknowledgement 1 and acknowledgement 2 count values? 69 and 71 are the acknowledgement 1 and acknowledgement count 2 values. Now you need to find out the practical throughput. Practical offered load is calculated using the formula sum of G count in all clients into packet length into 8 by duration of the experiment into data rate. We know that the sum of G count is 101 plus 102, which is 203, and the packet length is 100 bytes, and into 8 by duration of the experiment is 100 seconds and data rate is 8 kbps. Thus you can calculate the value of G. Now you need to calculate the value of X. The value of X, which is practical throughput, is calculated as sum of acknowledgement counts into packet length into 8 by duration of the experiment into data rate. Here it is 69 plus 71 into packet length is 100 bytes into 8 by duration of experiment is 100 seconds and data rate is 8 kbps. Thus you can calculate the values of X. After calculating the values of X for all values 1000, 1800, 400, 200, 100, 40, 20 and 10. I will fill all these values of G count and acknowledgement and I will include in the PDF file. You just calculate the values of X and the values of G. After calculating the values of X and G, you need to plot a graph. Plot a graph between offered load and throughput. The offered load is in the x-axis. Offered load is placed at x-axis and throughput is at y-axis. The graph will look somewhat like this.